Welcome to Cory's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Make sure that you're comfortable in your bed and that everything is just right in your room so that you can allow your body to relax as you listen to the story. Tucker and Leo had gone over to the cat's house. They were all waiting for Tucker and Leo in the back garden when they arrived. Vaya had got the dragon scale out of the sugar bowl. It was covered in sugar. She was waiting, holding it in her left paw. Tucker came in and said, "Are we ready?" "I'm ready." "Are you ready, Leo? Because I'm so ready. It's been a very nice week this week, but I would like to go and be a dragon because there is nothing better in this entire world than flying in the sky. It's so good." Cherry said,
"OMG, yeah, me too. I just love it. Can't believe it. Can't believe that we're dragons. I just can't believe to wait to see what I'm like as a dragon. Are you excited, Leo? Do you want to be a dragon, Leo?"
Leo said, I'm not sure. I think it's a bit scary, to be honest."
"Oh, don't be scared, Leo. I bet you're a lovely dragon."
Leo gave Cherry a smile. He was very apprehensive about being a dragon. He was a timid dog, so, he was sure, absolutely certain, that he wouldn't be a brave, strong dragon. He would probably be like a scaredy cat dragon. I don't know. He just couldn't see himself as a dragon doing something important. He'd been a dragon. It felt good as a dragon, but he hadn't been put to the test in any way. They'd visited Dixon Lands, Vaya's place, and they'd also visited Tucker's section of the Octagon in Steel City. But Leo couldn't sense at all what he would have to do with all of this and how it would work out. And when it came down to it, who he really was as a dragon. They all stood in a circle on the back garden, and Vaya said,
"Are we ready?"
She rubbed the white dragon scale with her right paw to clean all the sugar off it. And in the same second, they were all flying through the sky. Like time didn't exist. There was no time between being cats and dogs and then instantly being a dragon. Leo found himself in front of the crowd. Now that he was a dragon, in his dragon body, he wasn't concerned. He instantly did feel braver. He noticed. He could tell, he could feel it, and he knew he wasn't a scaredy cat dragon. And for some reason, he felt this drive in the pit of his stomach to go where he needed to go this time. They were all flying in and out and through the clouds in the sky. Around some of them, underneath some of them, straight through the middle of some of them. Leo could feel a tingle through his entire dragon body. And he wondered if this is what Tucker felt like. And this is what Vaya felt like when they were leading the pack of dragons. It was a strong, buzzing sensation, and he could feel it especially in his jaw, all around and through and inside of his dragon teeth. Like something was pulling him forward. That's the only way he could describe it. The direction that Leo took everyone in was towards the desert. And the closer that they got, the hotter the sun got. The sun was blazing down on them by the time they started to fly over the sand dunes. This was Leo's section of the octagon. Citrine Sands is what the place was called. And moment by moment, as they got closer and closer, Leo instinctively knew what to do there. Vaya shouted to everyone else, "Why are there so many holes in the ground below?" Leo said, "You'll find out soon enough. We're almost there." Heidi was fascinated. She was trying to figure out if the holes in the sand dunes down below had any kind of formation, wondering if there was some kind of code or system to the placement of the holes below them. She couldn't figure anything out. They just looked like holes. Random, deep, big pit of a hole below. Like a whole village could be in one of those holes, they were so big. Leo led them all and started to descend down towards the sand dunes. When they all landed, Leo instantly felt the heat in his dragon claws. The heat actually felt very good. He felt like it was that hot that if he stood still, his feet would melt into the earth below him. But they all seemed to be equipped with that sensation. No one looked like they were in any kind of discomfort, like it was just part of what they could handle as dragons. They weren't too far away from one of the holes. Leo started to walk towards the hole. Leo turned around to talk to everyone. And that's when everyone noticed the sound. The sound was very, very strange. It sounded like a wave of something moving and ticking and scratching and tapping and the most bizarre sound. Cherry said, "What's that? What's that sound?" Leo said, "It's the hole. They're digging for citrine. Take a look." Everyone walked to the edge of the hole. From above, the holes looked like big black holes, as big as villages down below. But now that they were on the surface, as they walked up, they instantly recognized what was making the sound. Millions and millions of doom bugs digging through the tiny little sand particles. They were all over each other, like you would fall into a pit of blackness, but the blackness wasn't darkness. The blackness was all the millions and millions and millions of dune bugs in there, clicking, ticking, all over each other. It was kinda creepy. Heidi said, "What are they doing?" Leo said, "They're mining. They're mining for the Citrine."
What for?
said Cherry. For wealth. It's for wealth of the world. Abundance. Right? That's what Citrine brings to you. My crystal, the color of my eyes, my crystal eyes, a Citrine. Citrine is golden, and it brings prosperity and abundance to anyone that owns it. And this section of the octagon is mine, and my section is all about the abundance and prosperity of the worlds. And with all of the Citrine that can be mined here in my section, in the sand dunes, we could end poverty.
OMG,
said Cherry.
that's intense.
Too right it's intense, Leo said, with the biggest smile on his face. All the puzzle pieces falling into place of who Leo was as a dragon. Leo was awesome as a dragon. Look at his purpose. Look at his part in the world, in this strange world, wherever they were. Heidi said, "Is it wealth that we can take back to Earth? Is it wealth that we could use there on Earth?" Leo closed his eyes as if he was tuning into something. Some inner wisdom that he had about his self, his soul, his purpose, this place. Cirine Sands, the land, Citrine, his eyes, his golden scales. Everything was making sense. He opened his eyes and they glazed in the sunlight at everyone, and he said, "We'll be able to bring this wealth, this abundance, this prosperity to the earth, and we'll be able to end all hunger." Vaya said, "Oh my, that's amazing." With that, everyone turned back to the hole, and the overwhelming sound of all the dune bugs scurrying in and around and over each other, millions and millions just moving like a wave in the ocean. And occasionally, a large chunk of Citrine crystal would be thrown onto the sand next to the hole. They'd find it deep, deep, deep down there, and they'd pass it along with each other until it come to the top, and they'd throw it over the side to be collected by other dune bugs that stored the Citrine in a special place. The Citrine was charged by the sunlight. It was like a battery. It held its power. Its power to bring wealth and abundance and prosperity to wherever it was put, to whoever it was given to whomever carried it. Leo's eyes got super, super golden bright. His dragon scales were like golden blazing fireballs in the sunlight shining down from the sky. He looked so handsome. Beautiful dragon. He was like a ray of sunlight. His golden fur as a dog was so magnificent as a dragon. Tucker was impressive. His black, shiny, steel-like scales. Vaya was impressive, with her white, snowflake-like scales. Pure, brilliant white. But Leo Leo was just something else. Leo made a whistling sound and all of the dune beetles, the dune bugs, stopped, halted. They all froze in time, and the waves and the movement of the big black holes just paused, completely still and silent. And then he made this whistling sound once again, and everyone returned back to work. Leo felt powerful. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel scared, didn't feel anxious. He didn't feel nervous at all. He didn't itch, he didn't twitch, he didn't feel like he wanted to hide in his house. He didn't feel like he wanted to run away from strangers. He felt at peace with himself, like he belonged right here in Citrine Sands. It felt like home. He turned round and looked at Tucker and Vaya and said, "Did your section feel like this? Did it feel like home for you?" Both the dragons nodded. "Exactly," said Tucker. Leo spread his wings and took up and started to fly. He led them all forward as everyone followed behind, and Leo flew over the many, many holes down below. All of those dune bugs, the dune beetles trying to find Citrine, the magical crystal that will bring an abundance of wealth to the world. The future looked bright. And while Leo was flying over his lands, he could feel that would be the truth. He could make it the truth, as long as he could keep coming back as a dragon, keep checking in with all of the work that was happening down below, making sure everyone was on track. The citrine was being collected. It was all going to plan. Then he could take away what was known as poverty. No one would ever go hungry again. Leo flew past and out of his quarter, his section of the octagon, and flew everyone into a very big, grey, dense cloud. The end.